Yay! This is a View from the Bridge official podcast of the Belfast Giants for kingdomofthegiants.com. Today's Tuesday, the 26th of July, Davy's favourite month, 2022. My name is Patrick Smith. You can join us here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. You can get us, of course, on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and all your usual podcast clients. We've got a very jam-packed, wonderful show for you because we're going to be chatting to Kevin Rain, we're chatting to Tyler Beskorowany, and we'll be revealing 4 names with the Giants this season. 4, yes, you heard me, 4, not 3, but 4. We'll get to that in a few minutes with Davey. Quick parish notice to start the show. Well, no, actually, first before that, Davey, without letting the cat out of the bag for the news in a second, how are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. I'm milking this summer weather. I think I might be wrong, might be right. 21st of June. Something makes me think it was Midsummer's Day when we last recorded. 21st June. Can't remember, but it was a lovely sunny night. So lovely sunny night here again. So I thought it
looks beautiful.
Treat myself because there'd be enough nights where we're sitting in the cold with a blanket around me and the curtains pulled and the wind beating against the window. So ride this good weather while we can.
And somebody will come back and say once again, you look like some guy who's been on Spotlight.
Yeah,
and he's being interviewed from Castlereagh.
Want me to turn the big lights on?
No, don't worry, mate. It's fine. It's fine. Joel, how are you?
Yeah, all good, boys. It's nice to see you. This must mean the season is creeping ever closer. I looked at my calendar today. Could not believe how quickly it was coming in. Summer's just gone by in a flash, and a couple of weeks' time we'll have hockey to talk about again. It's nuts.
Absolutely. Parish notice before we start. I just want to say a big thank you to Simon Kitchen. Simon has been part of the podcast for many, many years, and unfortunately this season he's going to take a bit of a step back from the show. Because we talked about it many times last year that Simon's taking a role on with the Belfast Giants, and to be basically that's an all-encompassing role that he's been working brilliantly at, and no doubt it's been taking its toll. And it takes a lot. He's been doing brilliantly with regards to the interviews that he's been getting, the guys coming on here and giving the benefit of many years international experience with Team Ireland, and of course his legendary status in Northern Irish hockey, and we thank him for that. And the door's always open, this is, but unfortunately he's going to be taking a step back from A View from the Bridge this season. It's a shame. We're really sad for that, but hopefully we'll see him maybe once or twice this season.
He's still in the group chat.
That's it. He's still in the group chat. He is nowhere. The voice of the Giants. And then the other, I'm getting frantic, David. I'm getting frantic messages here from Sinead Doyle who's saying 4 names. What's the 4th name you're doing? What's the 4 names? There's only 3 names you're letting go. David,
Sinead Doyle might think she runs the Belfast Giants podcast, but I tell you something else. We have got a new name, the newest Belfast Giant, and Sinead can tweet this if she wants, but she mightn't know this is official news yet. But the absolute newest Belfast Giant, 7:39 this morning. The contract was signed, weighing in at a staggering 8 pounds 8 ounces. Sophia Lily Russell, Neil the coach Russell, and Christy had their little baby girl this morning. So
let's go!
Congratulations to Christy, congratulations to coach, congratulations to big sister EVG. We're all thrilled. It was a bit of a traumatic time for a few days there, I believe, but mother, baby, dad, sister, all doing well. So again, Sophia Lily Russell, welcome to the army.
We do have a photo. There it is. Congratulations to coach.
And she's been in Saint-Tropez already.
The picture.
Born in Saint-Tropez. Yeah.
She is the picture of her father. Look at that. Congratulations, mate. Absolutely made up for you, Christy. It was wonderful, wonderful news. And awesome. What age is Evie now? He thought he was all finished with bringing up the kids, and off he goes again.
Yeah, I know. I don't even want seeing Evie sprout into this beautiful young woman just makes me feel like ancient. And it just makes Neil Russell sharpen the knives and make sure the big gun's always loaded, because there's going to be plenty of suitors knocking on that door for that young lady, and he's going to have to keep his wits about him.
You're absolutely right, mate. You're absolutely right. Congratulations, mate. Right, let's crack on with the show, and we start off with the biggest name that we've got on the show this week, and absolutely delighted to introduce to us on A View from the Bridge, Laura Small. How are you?
Greetings.
Smallsy!
Smallsy! Cheapers,
Are you going to tell me I'm loud? Are you surprised by that?
No, not in the slightest.
This is like
How
a
you
school
doing?
reunion.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, enjoying the summer. Enjoying the summer.
You first it sounded like it.
So tell us what you've been up to.
I was away for a bit, and now we're just full season mode. Just
Where'd you go?
I went to Texas, and then I went on a hen weekend in France, and then I went to Prague with work, and then I went to London.
Oh, you know.
See anybody in Texas we might know? See anybody we might know?
Did saw Jimbo and Mitzi.
And
How did you do?
Fortunately, Jim is not great.
Okay.
He doesn't really get out of bed much these days, to be honest with you. But it's just
okay,
life.
move on. But lots of love from us.
Thank you.
Always.
So
I'm not going to
obviously,
cry, don't worry.
so,
You're allowed
obviously,
to.
Laura,
Crying's encouraged on this show. Don't worry about it.
so obviously, Laura, we know you well, and you do so much work, so much hard work behind the scenes with regards to the charity drives that the Belfast Giants do. What sort of things going on now?
I can't take any credit for this, to be honest with you. We're just piggybacking sounds a bit savage, but we're just trying to help out a local kid who is desperately in need of a bone marrow transplant. He is 14 years old and he's been diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. It's very difficult to find a bone marrow match. We know that obviously Tom got one, and see how hard that was to take as well. So his family are working really hard to raise awareness, to try and encourage people to join the stem cell register. So we just want to be a part of that. We want to be able to try and help them and encourage people to sign up to join it. It's changed a lot over the years, and that's part of the reason I want to really talk about it. First of all, you can sign up to register for it at www.dkms.org.uk. If you live near McKeever's pharmacy, there isn't one of those near me, you can go in and get tested there and then. It's very straightforward. It's just a swab in your mouth. So we're pretty used to that now with all the lateral flows. 18 to 55, you can be tested. The ideal demographic is 18 to 35 males, really. So our team are the ideal candidates to be tested.
Are Paddy and Davey?
I mean, I don't make any judgment about anybody's age here, so
Look at this youthful complexion, mate. What do you think?
I have no judgment. Joe, I'm pretty sure you're in that category. You could be right in there, kid.
I'm right at the top. I'm right at the top. Listen, if any of this is any use to you, just go ahead. Like, I don't think it is, though.
So just really quickly, I want to explain a couple of things about stem cells. Years ago, when you needed a bone marrow transplant, if you were giving the bone marrow, it had to be withdrawn from your pelvic bone. That's a big deal. That's a general anesthetic. It's a huge needle. And most people, as soon as they hear bone marrow, they're like, no, sorry, don't like needles, or that's not for me. It's way more straightforward now. First of all, the test, as I said, is just a cheek swab. Once you match, then they do a blood test just to be sure that you're definitely a match. And after that, it's withdrawn. Your stem cells are withdrawn through blood, and it's given to the patient pretty much like a blood transfusion. Only about 5% of cases now are done the old way. So even if you are a match and you're terrified of that kind of thing, it is so much more straightforward now than ever. And that shouldn't deter us from trying to help someone.
Absolutely. Oh, sorry, I interrupted you there.
No, all I was going to say was like signing up to it doesn't just mean you're trying to help that kid. You're trying to help all the people who are waiting for bone marrow transplants. We don't know when that's going to come to our own door. If it was your family, you'd be knocking your pan in trying to encourage people to sign up. It's just the same as Dahi and donate for Dahi. Yes, they want their son to get a heart, but they're also campaigning for everyone to join the register so that everybody who needs an organ can get an organ. So join both of them, sign up.
It was one of the things when we were starting doing the blood donation stuff, and I went along once to one of the ones here in Manchester, and they pushed for, do you want to be a bone marrow donation or test for that? And again, I thought first thing that popped into my head, big needle, something drawn out, big, something getting right into your.
Not a great thought.
But exactly, that's the first thing. And the guy sat me down and took me through it, and now I'm on the register for that, and it's it's so worthwhile. It's so worthwhile to just to be on there. You may never be called, but you may be called, and you may be needed, and somebody out there just may need something from you that it's not going to do you much harm. It's not going to do you any harm.
No,
but it could mean their life.
I actually signed up about 15, 20 years ago. I had a friend apart from Tom who also needed a bone marrow transplant through Anthony Nolan. That's another trust that registers. They phoned me one day and they were like, "Hello, don't worry, we're not phoning to tell you you're a match." And I was like, "I'd much prefer you were phoning to tell me I was a match than ask me for another £10 a month." But I would love someone to tell me I was a match. I mean, how great would that be to be able to help someone and all you had to do was go along, give some blood?
Absolutely.
Yes,
and so tell us again, what's the website that they have to go to?
The website is www.dkms.org.uk/register-now. But I mean, if you just get to the main thing, it'll be fine.
Right. We'll be sticking that up on our social media streams and things like that. And please get involved. And and hopefully we can find a match.
Just while I have, you've got a couple of other things. I know you've got bigger and better things to talk about than me.
We don't have bigger and better things than you, Laura. Come on.
Giant things. I just couldn't help myself. Sorry.
Take it from here now. Listen, I've got on this.
Recently, well, it was a good few months ago, but we're only getting to it now because we're so busy. A fan made a beautiful guitar to celebrate our 20th anniversary. It is an absolute piece, and the case that it comes in is phenomenal. I would sleep in that case. It is unbelievable. We've been trying to get around to getting it out for auction. So what we decided to do is we're going to put it out on Good Man. Sorry, I just saw somebody registering. I've lost my train of thought. Oh yes. So we've decided to put it on raffle. So that allows the majority, as many people as can, to enter, rather than saying you got to do an auction where people need to have a lot of money. Whereas this way, it's £2 a ticket. You can buy 1, you can buy 10, you can buy 100, you can buy whatever you want to donate, and puts you in with a chance of winning this. It's really beautiful. Keep an eye out. It's just with the organisation raffle right now, waiting on approval. It'll be out on Giants social media and the OSC. It'll be done through the OSC. So I'm going to ask people to keep their eye out for that. And the proceeds will be going towards Dreams Come True charity and the All-Star Weekend, which is happening this weekend in Cardiff. Our very own Ethan has benefited from Dreams Come True. So we want to be able to pay that forward and let them help somebody else as well. And then my very last thing is just want to give a wee shout out to Dylan, who's off to the British Transplant Games tomorrow, and wish him all the very best. And we're dead proud of him. And that's all. You can get on with business now.
So it's brilliant that he's taking part in that. It's the next step, isn't it? It's wonderful to see. And we add to that. Laura, listen, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, John.
Looking forward to seeing you when the season starts.
Come and visit us in person.
No, as soon as I can. As soon as I can.
Joel
will.
Don't you strain yourself. All right. Bye. Bye, FJ.
See you soon.
Big thanks to Laura Small for her time there. And like I say, we've got that. It's let me find out where that there it is. dkms.org.uk. Please get involved, get your name down, and hopefully we can help.
That guitar, by the way, is made by Scott Cameron from Golden Era Aged Guitars, and I'm sure we can retweet that onto our Twitter tonight for anybody who hasn't seen it. But it did the rounds last season, and it's a pretty special piece. So great.
Just quickly there, I don't want to wait to any other business in case we just don't get the chance, and then a lot of people drop off towards the end of the show anyway because it's getting late. Laura, as always, there touched base with Ethan. She said about Tom Simpson, Dahi, all these, and this young lad that needs the stem cell treatment. One, of course, going through the mill at the minute. Blakey back in and out of surgery, back in and out of PICU. Obviously, thoughts, prayers, and it's not just words. It's thoughts and prayers to Christine, to the family, to Pixie, everybody involved with that family. It's been a very, very trying number of years. This isn't a week or two in the making. This is years and years of wee Blakey. He's not so wee anymore. He's a big teenager. So all our love and best wishes from like I never say that we can speak on behalf of the Belfast Giants fans, but I think on this one, I think it's fair to say we speak on behalf of all the Belfast Giants fans and probably even Elite League fans that lots of love to all the family and especially the League there. Stay strong, bud.
Yeah, here. Right, let's get stuck into the Belfast Giants for the 2022-2023 season. And we'll start off with one that's already been announced. We're not revealing this name. This name came out at 2:22 on the 22nd of 22. And it was, of course, Kevin Rain, and he chatted with Joel just the other day.
He is a two-time Elite League champion. He's a three-time Challenge Cup champion. But as you saw on the 22nd of July, he still ain't finished. Welcome back to the Belfast Giants, my friend Kevin Rain. How are you, buddy?
Man, so excited to be here. And you said you didn't do any homework, but I don't think you needed to. You just know your stuff, Joel.
That just rolls off the top, mate. You know that. Yeah, look, it's a thrill to have you back after what was an amazing season last year. The Giants came obviously so close to that treble, and around off the championships that you do have, but obviously there's one still domestically here in the Elite League that you don't. Is there a wee bit of a sense of maybe unfinished business?
Yeah, I mean, very excited to come back. Of course, it's the season we had last year and the way it ended for me personally, to not be able to join the boys in the playoff round and to chase that elusive trophy that we've not gotten, at least in my time with the Giants. A little bit of unfinished business, and on a personal note too, just where I'm at and how I'm feeling. Definitely a lot more playing left to do.
Yeah, look, obviously you talked at length, and I'm sure that the Teal Army out there will follow you on social media, and they'll see everything that you do kind of in addition to your work on the ice, and we'll talk about that more specifically. But it seems to me like you came back to Belfast last year, refreshed, I don't know, renewed, maybe a different frame of mind, and has that fueled then the willingness to keep going and to keep playing and to come back for another year?
I think so. Yeah, definitely in a much more positive mindset. Period. Over recent years, and to be able to come and apply that to my profession with that fresh mindset allows me to do it all that better and all that more enthusiastically. And coming in to Belfast, for the second season after COVID, that COVID episode was a big reflective period, and really, really excited and bringing new attitudes, new perspectives to Belfast as well as the game.
Was there a sort of inkling from you? It's always the sort of the two-pronged answer. Did you think about hanging him up after that kind of, the season just passed? You obviously talked, to the media at the time that it was either Belfast or nothing for you coming back post-COVID. But there's obviously going to be options. You're a championship winning team. You're in the shop window in terms of Europe. There is always the option of life after hockey as well. Did you have to go through that kind of mental process again this year before you decided to come back?
Yeah, and honestly, like I said, the way I finished with an injury as I did, it just really, really rocked me. Really, really had me going, what am I doing? Putting my body on the line. I gotta let Besco do his job back there. Like, what am I doing out here? And anything that anybody's doing, you kind of have to have your whys in place, and you have to have pretty solid foundation as to your why and why you do the things you do, and that was a complete reevaluation for me. Why do I do this? Why am I continuing to do this? Is it justified, and should I continue to do it? And a whole bunch of tough questions that when looking at individually and breaking it down and really having thought and discussion around it to determine the end decision, and ultimately deciding to come back and feeling really good about that, and having been able to justify it. And I think I said in one of my writing bits that the play as long as you can it is just ringing so loudly for me right now. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to keep listening to.
Yeah, and I think it's only natural. I think every hockey player goes through that sort of that self-evaluation of where they're at, where they want to go next. It's such a strange industry where you pretty much have the ability to apply your trade anywhere in the world, as well as move into sort of a life after hockey. Why was it the right choice? Why was it Belfast for you? Well, whenever you landed on that conclusion, why was it coming back to put on that tail for a fifth time?
Well, similarly to the COVID, it's kind of like a Belfast or nowhere type mentality where, it's the community and it's the roots that I've been able to grow there. And it's my ambitions at the rink and away from the rink. And, the excitement and the fostering of relationships that I've got to build in my time there, friends at the rink, friends away from the rink, to go elsewhere. For whatever reason it may be, you look at what you're leaving behind, and for me, the sense of family that I have at and away from the rink in Belfast, and also to have Hope join me in that experience now for a second time. First time she was, what am I getting into? What's this going to look like? Right?
She's a local girl now.
Yeah. And if you were to ask her experience of this time last year, my excitement combined with her not knowing this, and then us landing in Belfast and me being like, oh, I'm at home, and then I'm like off with the boys, and she's kind of like, we kind of like fell out of alignment big time there. She's like, well, this is not old to me. This is all very new. Like, And so to hear her out, but so to be able to go back to Belfast, being on the same page, and then after landing, remaining on the same page, getting to reach all of our people and kind of resume our Belfast lifestyle. Very, very exciting this time around. And
we had to put Hope through her paces, but I think she's pretty good even with the accent now. I think it's all nailed down at this point. Like, she probably understands it better than I do.
She's got it. Yeah, she's very.
That is just a taste of what is a fantastic interview with Kevin Rain that Joel did the other day. The full interview will be available tomorrow on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at 5 p.m. So tune in for that. It's where he goes into the reasons why he's come back and tells it to Joel that he ain't finished.
Yeah, no, I think that's one thing that we were definitely sure about as soon as his name flashed across the Giants socials. I just think someone like that, the nature of hockey in our part of the world, players and their times in cities and with teams can be very fleeting. And every so often there comes along someone who just scratches the surface a little bit and just gets it, understands the club culture, understands the people, and understands just how dearly we hold this club. And not only that, I think he's an absolutely almighty D-man and the absolute heart of our decor. So to have someone as steadfast as that on our blue line for another year when we're defending a title, when we're defending a Challenge Cup, Rainer just ticks all my boxes as a Belfast Giant, and he's the kind of guy that I build the team around.
Davey, it's one of those we said all the often. I think it's Robert Fitzpatrick comes out with that. He's a player that gets it when it comes to the Belfast Giants.
Yeah, I think, and when you look back on seasons and you want to replay games in your head, and I want to replay that, or not the Challenge Cup final, sorry, the playoff final against Cardiff, and we always say we're a no excuse organisation and we don't like to go down the injury route, but when you replay stuff in your head, and we missed obviously Kevin Rain in the final, we missed Jordan Boucher in the final, two big parts of our team, and Rainer especially, and you look at the goals we maybe conceded in the final from defensive, misunderstandings, different people playing different roles in defence that not necessarily weren't used to, but weren't doing game in, game out. Kevin Rain blocks shots that Tyler Beskorowany doesn't have to save, that his D partner doesn't have to clear up the glass. It's not left for somebody else to do, so he brings that high energy. He hits for fun, he blocks for fun. That's why we had the Rainer Razor, and that's why it cost me and Says and a whole lot of people a whole lot more money for hits and blocks, and the likes of Joel, he did, those shots don't get through. Besko doesn't have to save them. Besko gets shutouts. Danny and Joel are at 20 quid, and it's all good. And we'll have a bit of a laugh about that. But they're not even intangibles; they are tangibles. That Kevin Rain brings that team. He's going to block shots every single night. I go through the stat sheets. There's not a game last season where he doesn't lie down and block a shot, and that's a goal-bound shot that our goalie either has to save or let in. So, he brings that to the team. Obviously, his stuff off the ice is, holistically absolutely fantastic, and how you get involved in the community. He's what you want from a Belfast Giant, in that he does it on the ice, he does it off the ice. He brings a little bit of everything, and he's trying really hard to bring a little bit of sunshine to everybody's life from his own, experiences, things that have got him down. Yeah. He knows how to get people up from that. So, we're going to say good things about Rainer.
That's great. That's great to have him back. Right, we're going to batter on. We actually have one of the names we want to reveal sitting waiting, but he's just going to have to wait a few minutes more because one of the other bits of news that came out today, unfortunately, is the retirement of Tyler Besker-Owani after winning two back-to-back league titles, 2 Challenge Cups. And Davey had a chance to chat with him last night.
Fantastic little montage there, Besko, of your greatest hits, your greatest shots. I always get to do these sort of sad wrap-up interviews, and a couple of years or maybe more ago, I got to interview Chris Higgins when he decided the Belfast Datsuk decided to hang up, and he said, "Never say never, Davey. They come back." But is it never say never, Besko, or is it going back to being Tyler again?
No, I told Kiefer it was never say never, and obviously, looking back at Higgy, he obviously came back for a short stint, and so it's about 99% a never again. But that being said, there's always that 1% chance where something happens or a good time in the work schedule out here now and make something happen. But it's not looking good. I wouldn't hold my breath on it.
As someone who works with stats, we're just looking for 1%. That's all we do all day long. So we'll take that. Tyler, in the couple of years you were in Belfast, obviously very successful for yourself personally, off the ice, on the ice, but very successful a couple of years with the team as well.
Yeah, obviously we've accomplished so much on the ice the 2 years that I was here. And, it's I can look back and think of memories, even, the good ones and the bads, the losing both finals. I know I don't really want to bring that up, but losing both finals, both years, I think it just made me grow as a person as well. Right. And so, obviously the winning championships and stuff is super special, and being able to celebrate that with the fans and the teams and all the guys and the staff and everything, the city, it was extremely special, and some stuff that I'm never going to forget.
Let's look at a few numbers, right? Because that's my thing. 122 games for the Giants, 80 something wins. What are we talking here? 1.91 goals against average. 926 save percentage. Like, those numbers stack up very, very well against anyone that's ever pulled on the tail. You must be pretty proud of them looking back.
Yeah, those are probably my 2 best years playing here in Belfast, numbers wise. And so, obviously that I can attest that to the whole team, and having guys like, the Rainers and the Josh Roche, the Jim Vandermeers, the Griffin Reinhardts, the guys in front and the forwards as well. I mean, everybody who just, I think, buying into the system this past year, especially, everybody bought into the system, and we had everybody pulling the right way and everybody playing their roles properly, and just good quality players making my job so much easier. And again, that's hats off to Kiefer as well for putting those into place and being able to get all these guys to buy in for those systems, because it's not easy, right? You got new guys. I think this year I think we had there was maybe 7 or 8 returning guys, and so that's more than half of the guys that are coming into a new system and a new environment, and some guys have never played pro before, and so it's tough for Kiefer, but he did an amazing job both years.
What about a few highlights, Tyler? Obviously, first time around we had the Continental Cup. We almost give you that taste of CHL action, which you're sadly turning down. But there must have been highlights over the couple of seasons for you.
Yeah, the personal highlights are probably obviously lifting all 4 trophies. Winning the personal allocates as well. The MVP of the league my first year, MVP of the team this year, which was a surprise to me. Just stuff like that. Those are obviously special, but highlights on the ice. I mean, there's a few that jump out. I think this year playing in Sheffield, the one where I dove across and made that save, that was probably one of my better saves with everything, considering the circumstances and whatnot. That was probably my best save ever. And then there was another one in Continental Cup, and I think the Challenge Cup against Guildford, there was 1 or 2 good ones there as well. So, but all in all, I could probably go game to game and think back to a save that I made in all of them. And
I guess I can't let you go without a message for a couple of people. One, en masse, the Teal Army, that name at Besco that will probably still echo from time to time around the Odyssey. Hopefully the new guy will come in and stamp his own name on that. But a message for the fans of Belfast.
I hope so. I hope they do. It gave me chills every time it happened. It was so special. My son still chants Besco, and so it still gives me chills anytime I think about him saying it. So no, from starting Besco Mania to the Besco chants on the ice to again just sending me a message when I was playing in Slovakia or in a different league. It definitely was heartwarming anytime I heard it, and you guys are amazing. You guys are awesome, and class act organization from top to bottom with everybody involved, as well as the fans. And so you guys made it extremely special, and I'm happy that you guys got what you deserved with a few championships.
And one guy that I want you to really single out for a little bit of extra special, sharpens the skates, got the buns, brought the whiskey every night, or Taff.
Yeah, Taff. He's obviously done so much for us. He's special. I think he deserves everything, and it's hard to say what he means to myself and the organization. It's from day one, really. He made my stay that much easier and just comfortable and made me feel at home from day one. And so, I guess that'd be another thing I would tell the other goalie coming in: get in his good books early, because he'll be your best friend. And I truly feel like he was, and we still stay in touch. I know he called me a couple weeks ago. He was in Vegas. Not sure it was the right time to answer his call, but no, we definitely stay in touch. And so thanks, Taff, for everything. You're the man, and keep up the good work.
Well, Tyler, we'll have to wrap this now, and I think it would be only right if I say, on behalf of the organisation, on behalf of the fans, a genuine and heartfelt thank you to you and your family for making Belfast a stay. And as we say, we're here, history back, and the door's always open for Tyler Besco-Iwane.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Davey.
That hurts. That hurts, man.
That's when, again, just like the Rayner interview, that's when he just part of what is about a 12-15-minute interview with Tyler Besco-Iwane on his retirement that Davey did last night. That full interview will be going out at noon tomorrow. That's Wednesday, 27th. Of course, the Rayner one will be at 5 p.m. on Twitter, YouTube, and on Facebook. Just quickly, because we're going to move on to the new announcements, Davey. But what can be said about Tyler Besco-Iwane that hasn't already been said?
Nothing. There's not very many superlatives left. He came, he saw, he conquered. He came in, played 2 seasons, won 2 league championships, a couple of Challenge Cups, EIHL netminder year, league MVPs, players of the month. He won it all personally as a collective. Did a bit, on the bench as well when he was having nights off. So, if you get a chance to listen to that whole interview, I'm not suggesting you do it because I did, but if you get a chance to listen to that whole interview, you hear a wee bit of what he talks about staying involved in the game and how important it was to be able to have that open relationship with Kiefer, that he could go and tell him how he was feeling or little bits of things that and Kiefer has that open door policy with any player that they think there's something there that they can add. Kiefer's door's always open. Like Besko will go down as one of the very greatest guys to put on the net. I know we did that starting six thing during lockdown, and that was prior to his second season. And a lot of you guys picked Besko as your number one. And I'd pick Stephen Murphy through longevity, 400 odd games for the club, and I think Besko over 2 seasons, 926 save percentage. Stephen Murphy over 400 games, 924 save percentage. So Besko's numbers stack up there with the very, very best that ever pulled on the tail. And what a roller coaster, what a journey that he came with us. And like he said, never say never. So that's all we can hope for.
Joel.
Yeah, look, I know we have a lot to cover tonight, but not only somebody who made history on the ice, but I think somebody who enriched our club and our culture just for having been here. And not only him, but Sarah and little Austin, and even just the family that come over to visit. We had some absolutely great time with Sarah's mum, Lynn, and just someone that I am very grateful to have had the opportunity to watch, to cover, to work alongside, and obviously to interview here on the show. There will be a lot of players come through the Belfast Giants. We're going to love a lot of them. We're going to like pretty much them all, but there will never be anybody for me just quite like Besko and what he's achieved at the Belfast Giants, and just what he did on the ice, off the ice, and just for the entire club and the mood and the feeling and the culture around it. But as Davey says, and as they say in my part of the world, haste you back right enough. Let's get a wee testimonial or a wee trip back over sometime soon.
Here. Thanks to Tyler Beskrani. Right, we're going to crack on. We're going to give you that first name. It's time to get that first name.
Yeah, let's lift the mood a little here, boys.
Let's lift the mood. Yeah, we've had the retirements. Let's get that first name on the Belfast Giants roster. The first of 3 that we're going to reveal to you. So, if you like your goal, what time is it actually? It's 20 to 10. Fine. If you like your goals and assists with a little bit of shithousery, you'll be as happy as I am. Number 10 for your Belfast Giants. He's back. It is Scott Conway.
Oh boy, Cons. Welcome back.
How are you doing, Cons? You all right?
Guys.
First of all, it looks absolutely fantastic where you are right now. Where are you?
Beautiful. It's probably high 20s, low 30s, in Chicago right now. So just chilling by the pool.
Yeah, that sounds like a tough life. Welcome back to the Belfast Giants. Was it a difficult decision to make? I'm sure you're a man in demand.
Yeah, thank you for that. I didn't want to rush it. The decision, just take it slow. You don't want to rush it, and then next thing you know, you're getting off from somewhere else. But I loved Belfast, the time that I spent there last year, and I knew it'd be a big pull coming back there, just because I know the coach, I know half the players now that have signed back, and it's great to have that cohesiveness with over half the players signing back, and me knowing the other half of the players basically that are coming in. So it's going to be a good year for us. I think we're pretty stacked. I'm excited to see what we can do. Comparing our team from last year to this year, I think we're going to be up there again. So I have seen some players around the league that have been signing, and I think the league is getting better. So I'm excited for that, and see what comes our way.
Colin said, just to echo what Paddy said there, first of all, welcome back. It's great to have you back in tail again. Do you still see the EIHL, your career within the EIHL, as a bit of a shop window? You talked there about waiting to see what offers maybe came across your desk in the summer. Do you still, harbour ambitions of back to North America and better leagues or European better leagues? Is this still a bit of a shop window? We're getting our hooks into you at all?
Yeah. So, I want to play in the best league possible, right? I think most players, most hockey players that are competitive, want to play in the best league or playing for the best teams. So, I had some options to go play in Europe a little bit in different places, but I think the best option for me this year was to come back, and never know. We'll see what happens next year. But I'm happy with my decision. We're excited, and we're happy to get going here. Getting excited.
How much of a factor was the CHL and just keeping you in Belfast?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of exposure playing in that tournament and or league tournament, whatever you want to call it. But you're playing against some of the top teams in the Europe, so definitely exciting to play those games and see what we can do. Hopefully, we can snag a couple wins and we can go from there. But it's going to be fun. Gel together a little bit before most of the other teams start getting together, so that's going to be nice, and so we're all on the same page when the season comes around.
I saw my boy Hitch just reference it there, Cons, but I'm a little bit of a nerd for digging elite prospects whenever players sign or re-sign, try and find those little links, see who they've played with. I have never encountered a player like you before. You know, you shared a locker room with David Goodwin, briefly at Penn State. Yeah. You played with Jeff Baum at Providence. You came to Belfast for the Friendship Four, which led to Adam Keefe coaching you for the first time with GB for the Olympics. You went to the Allen Americans, where you played alongside three new Giants in Chad Butcher, Steve Orr, Colby McCauley, and Sam Ruup. You know, a league like ours, whenever you hit the ground running, you've got no choice to hit the ground running, and especially in a season when you're going to Europe and you've got all those games stacking up. Do you believe that gives a team a significant head start to have these little crisscrosses and for boys to know boys right off the bat?
Oh, yeah. Just because, you know, like for an example, I've been playing with, like you said, I played with those guys before. I know their tendencies. I know what they're going to do. And it definitely helps you. So I'm excited for us all to start getting on the ice here soon and see what we can do.
And just a quick follow-up, obviously, it was reported earlier in the offseason that JJ Pikinich has moved on to pastures new. And that obviously, that top line for a lot of newer Giants anyway, for those who don't remember the first couple of seasons, don't say it, please, Rough Real Barons. That's the top line of everyone's kind of dreams. It was the best Giants top line they've ever seen. And you're obviously losing them. Well, you're obviously losing a massive part of that with Pick moving along. But do you think that, you know, you've got Mark Cooper there in the second line, who ended up contributing a lot of goals and a lot of points last season? Do you think you're able to replace a piece of the puzzle like that and to get right back to it?
Absolutely. Pick did a great job last year, and obviously he was a key player for us. So congratulations to him moving on to Norway. But I think there's a lot of high-end players out there, and I think Belfast does a great job finding those high-end players. Like I said, I've played with a few of the other players that you guys haven't seen play yet. And I think a few of those guys can step into that role right away and make an impact on the team. So even if it's not a Cooper or a Lake or someone like that, we have those new players that are coming in that I know are going to make an impact on this team. So I'm excited to see what line I'm going to be with, and if I'm going to be jumbled around a little bit at the beginning of the year or what, but I think we're going to be good, and I'm excited. Hopefully I have goals on setting. My goals are higher set this year than they were last year, so we'll see what we can do.
God bless the rest of the Elite League.
Interesting fact, interesting to me. That's come from Andrea Owens on Twitter, saying that you were announced first time round to the Belfast Giants on the 26th of July 2021. So we're exactly a year on. Welcome back to the Giants.
Beautiful, Andrea. Well played.
Put out a couple of questions, see if anybody out there wanted to ask some things. Yeah. Joel Stevenson saying, how special was it to win a Challenge Cup at home? And have you ever won a trophy on home ice before?
I've won one away in juniors. No, I don't think I have won one on home ice. And I think that was probably the most special game that I've ever played in. Just because that comeback, you know, you can write books about that. We're getting killed 3-1, I think it was in the first period, and then coming back from that was something else. So that was definitely one of the highlights of my career. Just celebrating at home with all you special fans out there. It was great to be part of, and you guys killed it.
When it comes to winning trophies and and getting that taste, how much does that drive you on to win the next?
Sorry, you broke up there. Say that again.
I'm saying when it comes to winning trophies, you picked up that Challenge Cup, and obviously there was a bit of a chase going on with Sheffield. When you win that first trophy, how much thirst do you get to chase down that next one?
Absolutely. The more trophies under your belt, the more successful your career is. So everyone wants a winner in this world. So hopefully our goal is not 2 this year. Hopefully our goal is 3, or we're going to get 3. So we're excited to see what we got coming up here. And yeah.
Just one more bit of it. Just one
sorry,
more.
Paddy. No, I'm taking this.
Just
a bit of an extension on Paddy's question there. Then, how much does the bitter taste of the likes of the playoff final spur you? Equally, that success drives success. How much does failure drive success?
Oh yeah, the same, if not more. We were so close to getting that 3rd one last year, and Cardiff played a good game against us. We had a few errors that resulted to the back of our net, which is it's hockey. Everyone makes errors, so. Next year or this year coming up, I think we're going to be excited. If we get that first one under our belts, the guys are going to get a little hungry. But success from last year does not have any correlations to success this year. So we have a different team coming in. We got maybe half new guys, so we got to let them know right away it's not going to be easy, because me coming in last year is a little bit different playing in North America, where you don't have to win every game and every game matters. So we're definitely excited. I'm definitely excited for everyone to get together. Yeah.
We've one from Margaret Pattinson, who asked, what makes Belfast so special?
There's a bunch of things, to be honest. Other than you guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Other than you guys.
Get them in early.
I think just
nicely done.
One, the location. I mean, it's a great spot, great city, great people. Being around great people makes you do great things too. So people was a big part of Belfast for me. I think another one was our team, our cohesiveness in the team. We were all super close in the locker room last year, and I think that it's going to be a similar vibe to this year. So once you have that cohesiveness in the locker room, it's going to result to on-ice cohesiveness. So I'm excited to see what we got there. I mean, obviously, you guys, the fans were a major impact last year. You guys were awesome. Hopefully, if you guys are nice and loud like you were last year, I'll be in that boomerang corner banging on the drums. End of the season, so.
All-time moment.
Seemed to be something that was greatly enjoyed by those that ventured into there at the end of the season.
Yeah, we had
but on that note, then, what does your summer then entail before you arrive in Belfast?
Actually,
apart from enjoying the Chicago sunshine,
I arrive next week, so just
okay.
Tuning the body up here a little bit and just getting ready to go.
Good stuff.
Same,
in that case, then we will tune the body up. You look like it, Joe.
Hey, listen, it's preseason for everybody, mate. You know what I mean?
Did you see the picture of him with no beard, Cons?
Oh yeah.
Listen, good to see you again, Cons.
Let's go.
Good job. Good job.
On that note, mate, listen, thanks for joining us. Great to have you back in Peel, and we look forward to seeing you on the ice with the Belfast Giants.
Thank you. One more thing. Where's Kitchie? I'm missing him here. Is he still in Vegas or on vacation?
No, he's sunning it up as far as I can see.
You seen his vacations? He's every week.
Constantly on holiday.
I wish I was him. I'll tell you.
Nice one, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks, now.
All right, no problem, guys. Take it easy.
Thanks, Con. See you soon, pal.
Bye-bye.
Great to have David. Great to have Scott Conway back in Peel for the Belfast Giants.
Absolutely, coming off the back of a 40-goal season, and lots of energy and ambition still to drive forward and use the IHL as a shop window for CHL this season, putting himself in a bigger shop window, if anything, this season. As he says, his ambitions are to play at a higher level. So Steve Thornton will always sell this club as that opportunity. We will help you get a better job in a better league, and if he goes on to get that better job, it means he's had a great season. So, all we can do is hope that we push Scott Conway on to even greater things. So great to have him back in Tail, and wish him every success for the upcoming season.
It was something that Tyler Beskorani said first time when he was here with the Belfast Giants. He was, it was that sort of trying to drive him on. He wanted something better, but he would do as best as he could in the team. And if we can only get that, and we've seen that from Scott Conway, more of that would be great. Joel? Sorry.
Go ahead, David. Go ahead.
No, you just look at line mates. JJ Pickett's taken his opportunity to go across the water. We've had many players that have came and taken. Darcy, first time round, had his 50-goal seasons a couple of years ago, went off to Germany, Austria, wherever, ended up back again. Rayner took opportunities, Mace took opportunities. I could rhyme any amount of players off that tried to climb a ladder. And so, you can only wish them well.
Yeah, I mean, Cons as a player is one of those lads that when he's on the ice, you feel like anything could happen. You know, you're one of those sorts of players that comes through here, and you know you're never beaten if he's taking a shift late on, if you're chasing a game, if you're a goal behind, if you need something in the clutch. Just one of those guys that you know there could be a bit of magic here. And for as much as it's a shame to lose JJ Pickenich, but I do join you boys in wishing him the very best, and I hope that Cons gets to go as high and as far as he'd like to go in his career. But as long as those fellas are choosing Belfast as their place to come and to care about the club and to give their all for our jersey, then I'm going to tip the cap as and when those experiences and those opportunities come. But for now, he's Belfast Giant, boys. I can't wait.
And now we shall move on to the second name. I can't get the camera right. There we go. The second name for those watching on YouTube. Oh, the third name. Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry, Dave. You're absolutely right. The third name. But a name that, well, if you're a social media watcher, like I'm not really, but a lot of people are, you may be thinking to yourself, well, he's on his way to either Dundee or Coventry. But
you got a scoop, Paddy?
he ain't going to Coventry. He ain't going to Dundee. Welcome back, Jackson Whistle. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing? Yeah, no chance of going there.
When you see,
we're done.
When you see like things like that and people going like that saying, no, he's going to Dundee and we have it in good authority, he's going to Coventry and it's all going, he's leaving it. What do you think?
I don't know. To be honest, I kind of loved it. I thought it was pretty hilarious. Seeing all the different places. I saw Dundee, I saw Coventry, I heard Manchester a while back, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But no, I think it's pretty funny just to kind of let them stir the pot, I guess, a little bit. And then, no, I mean, if I'm playing in this league, I want to be here and I want to be in Belfast.
Is that all in the hands of your agent, or is that something you handle yourself?
No, it was something I handled myself with Steve this year. I've been speaking to him pretty much right when the kind of the season ended, or even kind of leading into the end of the season. We were talking back and forth, and kind of for here, it's been something that I know well enough personally that it's just something that I can kind of handle myself with him.
Whenever the name Whistle's associated with Belfast, good things have always seemed to happen. So welcome back again. It was an easy enough decision. Mace didn't try and get under your skin at all.
Oh, you actually can't hear.
You really can't hear me.
Not a word. I can't hear a word he's saying.
Not a word.
He's asking. Paddy asked the question.
I'll pass it on. What he's basically asking there is, did Mace not try to get his claws in? Did he take you to Dundee?
I mean, we might have spoke to him a little bit briefly there, kind of at the end of the playoffs when I think we were out having a beer or something like that, kind of joking around. But no, I think he knew. I mean, I've told him before that, and I think all the coaching staff and everybody knows that, if I'm here, playing in this league, I want to be here playing for the Giants. I love it there. Love the fan base, love the organization. It's kind of like my second home now, to be honest. I've been there so long. So no, it's kind of here.
We've a comment there from Dundee Stars TV saying, "Great signing, guys." Right, boys?
Yeah.
Right, boys. Joe?
Wes, welcome back, mate. It's good to see you. Look, it seems to be anyway. It's kind of a theme tonight. We're talking about players who spent a little bit of time here and guys who hang around and sort of scratch the surface of the club and maybe, kind of put down roots here a little bit. Feels to me like you're heading down that road a little bit. It feels like, you've really made Belfast a home, but you obviously have the additional experience of having been here as a kid. Is it sort of Belfast or nowhere for you at this point? Is this somewhere that you could see a future?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, unless some sort of, crazy opportunity kind of came up in another league or something like that where it was kind of a no-brainer, you kind of had to take it, I would maybe consider it. But as far as kind of where I'm at right now in my career and kind of how I see things playing out, yeah, I want to be here. And I was actually thinking about the other day, I spent 3 years here as a kid, and I've pretty much spent 3 years as a Giant, then another year there during COVID. So I've been over here for about 7 years now. So it's quite a lot, long portion of my life, to be honest with you, in Belfast. So
Yeah, Paddy referenced your agent earlier, and I was wondering why he was being so formal about Big Dave, but we hope he's doing well anyway. Tell us about your tell us about your summer, Wiss. I see you're doing a little bit of coaching and a little bit of work with the kids, and that obviously keeps you active and keeps your head in the game as well.
Yeah, 100%. I actually kicked my dad out of the room here 2 seconds ago to send him down. I actually told him, I was like, Dave, you probably actually could have hopped on the call, to be honest. But
yeah, switch him out.
I know. Yeah, we're in Cardiff right now, running a hockey camp for kids. So something I kind of try to do every single year. I love doing it. It's exciting to kind of come over here and kind of teach them a little bit as well too. I was working with the junior Giants as well during the year. So we're over here right now. We're just in the Premier Inn. Actually, he's downstairs in the lobby having a beer since I kicked him out. As far as the summer went, it's been good. I got to travel around a little bit actually this summer once the season kind of ended and kind of unwind. It was obviously kind of, a pretty, amazing season to be a part of. And then right after that, you go kind of right into the GB experience. You're really playing all the way to the end of May, more or less. Then you kind of, you don't have a ton of time, to be honest with you, but kind of try and take 3 or 4 weeks and kind of unwind and kind of traveled around a bit, went to a few weddings actually. And then I've been back home in Kelowna now kind of since the beginning of July there. And then you kind of start, kind of say to yourself, all right, it's kind of time to kind of get back into it. You start training and working out. And then as soon as this is over, pretty much we get back Thursday night here. And then Friday morning, I know they got ice at Dundalk, and that'll pretty much be me for the season, practicing every day and getting ready.
Gives them a little bit of insight to that GB experience. Obviously, those World Championships and didn't go maybe the way I wanted, but to have that experience, to go there and to play against the top end teams must be wonderful for a player like yourself.
Yeah, no, obviously it was a bit bittersweet. You never want to get kind of relegated. It would have been lovely to be back there again, coming up this year. So that part of it kind of sucked, obviously. But as far as it kind of went, playing wise, it felt pretty good playing at it, to be honest with you. Felt like my game's kind of come a long way over the last kind of few years. It's kind of calmed down a lot. And I think even just kind of looking at it at the World Championships the year before in Latvia, I thought I played well at it, but I kind of felt myself, scrambling around a bit, diving to try and get to pucks and kind of doing, kind of all over the place. Still saving it, but just kind of out of position a little. And I found, this year at the World Championships, when I got the chance to go in against Sweden and played against USA, it felt pretty comfortable, to be honest. It didn't feel, like I was fighting it. It felt calm in the net, kind of in control the whole time. Obviously, I had to play a little bit deeper at that level just because, they're getting a little bit more good grade A scoring chances. But no, it felt good. Getting that chance to do that. And I'm kind of looking forward to bringing that kind of into, you're going to see a little bit of that right away there in the Champions League. So I'm looking forward to that.
We spoke earlier on in the show with Tyler Beskorowany. Obviously, he's decided to move on and look at ventures outside of hockey, which is disappointing for a guy, from us as fans, for a guy who has so much success with the Belfast Giants. But the opportunities we are going to be speaking to somebody else shortly. But the opportunities for you and for Dicko and stuff like that. But a word for Tyler Beskorowany.
Yeah, he's a great goalie. It's pretty cut and dry. Me and my dad were kind of talking about the other day, he's a DL goalie of the year. You know what I mean? He came over to Belfast, did great for the team, and he's a good guy too. Do you know what I mean? So you guys all know the same sort of thing. So it was great to kind of get to play with him. I wish him all the best in retirement. It sucks to kind of see him. I actually thought he was coming back, to be honest with you, for the longest time. And then just kind of found out there maybe, about a month ago that he kind of wasn't, or a few weeks ago. I know he was kind of humming and hawing about it. So obviously that sucks. And I think, I was lucky to get to play with him, to be honest with you. I kind of learned, I learned a lot from him, kind of the way he plays in the net. And you can see it, how big and how calm and in position he is all the time, never out of position, never scrambling. And that's kind of something I tried to kind of put into my game a lot this year. And I kind of, I was thankful to get to work underneath him.
You also have a bit of a focus off the ice as well. Notice you're obviously planning for the future.
Yeah, I do a little bit of everything, to be honest with you right now. I should probably pick one thing, but no, I do. We have, during COVID there, when I was here in Belfast, I built a few properties, a couple of apartments, and those just actually got sale agreed a few days ago. We've been renting them out now for the last kind of year. So I'm looking to kind of sell those, maybe try and flip another house or something like that, kind of maybe in the off season when I got a little bit of time. But I've also been doing a bit of insurance work as well for a company called Game Plan Financial, which I've been loving to do. And it kind of just keeps your mind a little bit busy outside of hockey. You know what I mean? On practice days and things like that, your day's done by 12 o'clock. So instead of kind of just sitting there doing nothing, I like to kind of just keep active and kind of do stuff and keep my mind kind of engaged and almost engaged away from ice hockey. So when you kind of come to it, it feels fresh. And you're not sitting there thinking about it all the time.
I'm going to go to Davey, who's going to ask his question by means of charades. Go for it, Davey.
I can't even, David. I can't even see your screen. It's black on my thing. It's a black square.
I can't even do that. We can't even do that. He actually just asked if you any. He actually asked if you have any recommendations for goalie camps out in BC, as we have an AVFTB follower.
Oh, that's a great question, actually. I will have to come back. I will have to come back to you on it. To be completely honest, it's been a few years since I've been in the goalie camp circuit out there. So I used to have a camp out there for years, and obviously I've been more or less a full-time UK resident here the last few years. So I've kind of fallen just a little bit out of touch with what's going on over there. So I can look into it for you, though.
Well, we're gonna let you go, Wes. We appreciate you joining us, but before we do, what are you looking forward to coming back into Belfast this season?
I'm pretty pumped to be coming back, to be honest with you. I think a lot of guys are, and it kind of shows with all the guys that, kind of wanted to come back. I think, other years when you see teams kind of come through and have success, a lot of times, you don't bring a lot of those guys back for whatever reason it is. And this, you can kind of see, all the guys want to be here. They kind of, you want more, you know what I mean? They kind of want more of it, more of what we just did. And I think the biggest kind of thing will just be, obviously we had some great success last year with the organization. And I think the biggest thing will just kind of be, it's great. It's a lot of memories that we kind of have for life with that group of guys. But it's hard to say. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to forget about it, really, and get ready and move on. And, this is a new season, a new challenge, and it's going to start right away. So I'm really looking forward to it.
One more just before you go, because it's just popped up here. I never actually considered this. Obviously, CHL this season. And it means that you guys will be appearing in the NHL 23 game. Do you play?
Oh, pardon?
Do you play? Are you looking forward to playing as yourself?
No, I used to play it way back in the day there when I was playing, when I was 17 to 20, I was in those games when we were in junior and stuff like that. So I remember playing it with all my buddies back then, but I haven't played the old Xbox in a couple of years, but maybe I'll fire it up.
It's a bit of a busman's holiday, Paddy. It's like you playing Podcast Simulator.
Does that exist? I've got time to pass.
Listen, you're living it, bud.
Wes, it's been fantastic. Davey said, whenever Whistle's involved with the club, good things happen, and I fully agree with that. It's good to have you back as part of the club, and we look forward to seeing you when the season kicks off in just a few short weeks.
Cheers, awesome. Thanks for having me on here, guys.
Good to see you, mate.
Brilliant to have Jackson Whistle. Davey, you're on mute. Now you're on mute, so you take yourself off mute.
That's a very 2020 thing, that isn't it? You're on mute, mate. Yeah, it's great. It's great to have Wes back, of course. And as I said on the chat, because he couldn't hear me, anytime there's been a Whistle involved in Belfast, it's only good things have happened. His dad, I remember that great stat where exactly 1,000 games apart, Dave Whistle's first win as a Belfast Giants and Jackson Whistle's first win. Just the way stars align, the way stats happen sometimes is fantastic. So, his dad started it all off here, and was still very much involved with the club. So it's great. I'm sure his dad will be back in Belfast around Christmas if he can make it. And always good to have a wee scoop with Mr. Whistle Senior.
Absolutely, Joel. Part of that three with what was Tyler Beskorowany and Jackson Whistle and Andrew Dixon. But we will be having a new goalkeeper, but it's in this modern EIHL, it's key to have decent backup netminders.
You need a good 3 goalie system in order to get through a domestic season in the EIHL now. And that's not even factoring Continental Cup or CHL participation. And the Belfast Giants are going into a loaded season here. There's a lot of expectation on this club's shoulders. There's a lot of cups to defend. So I am very, very confident that we've got a real steadfast choice in Wes. Wes is someone who I think has really developed as a person and a player since he arrived here. He turned pro out of Kelowna. He played for the Rockets back home and was a phenomenal player in the WHL. He obviously, he'll tell you himself, struggled with kind of health issues. He had some problems with his hips early on. He's had to really go through it to get all that stuff sorted, and it's been a joy for me kind of year on year, even with that little break where he presumably didn't play hockey. I think he lived in England somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
For him to come back and just to see year on year how he's rounding himself off as he grows and gets a little bit older and his game as well. I'm really delighted to have Wes back, and I think he's someone that we can rely on. And we saw him in big game moments last year, like the game in Fife that we managed to turn over real late on. And that wasn't the only one. Wes brought the heat, and he made some big moments happen himself. It wasn't just Tyler Beskorowany that got us to where we were last season.
We talk, and Joel talks very, very correctly there about being 3 goalie system. We obviously have Dicko there, who's just the absolute glue for the locker room, apart from that the intangibles he talked about. Was it Goodyear? Someone talked about going through a bit of a slump last year, staying on the ice. No, it might have been Coops actually. And Dicko works out with him when the other guys are off going to the gym, doing whatever they're doing. But, remember, was it Dundee? Was it Fife when Besco went down hurt and the load goes on West for a few weeks and he carried that superbly? Because we talk about it all the time. This league, the way it's set up, those points in September count exactly the same as points. You don't have that building for a playoff run. You're trying to win the regular season championship is the big one. Of course, we want to win the playoffs, but we'll come to that next April. We're not worried about that at this stage. So that 3 goalie system, Besco sadly retires, which it kind of opens the door for somebody else to step up and be the man.
It absolutely does, because you know what? We need a goalie. Please welcome to A View from the Bridge, number 33, your new goalkeeper for the Belfast Giants. That is Peyton Jones. How are you?
Good. How are you guys? Good to be on here.
Doing really well, mate. The first question, as always, is how does the opportunity come about for you to join the Belfast Giants?
After the season, my season with Utah ended, I was, taking some calls from different teams, and, Adam reached out to me, and, I looked at his, I did some research, and I'm actually played with Goody at Penn State. I reached out to him, and he had nothing but great things to say. And then I had great conversations with Adam and Steve, and, I thought it was a great fit for me.
Like you say, you've a bit of time in the coast, a couple of games in the AHL last couple of years. To make that jump to Europe, how big a decision is it?
I think that it's just like, part of hockey. As a free agent, you're not really sure where you're going to end up. I kind of thought maybe I'd end up in America, but, when Europe, the opportunity was presented, I thought about it and thought it'd be, awesome for me to play hockey over there and to come to Belfast, to see a new city, to see a new country, to, leave the United States and play over there. So I'm excited for it.
Peyton, I don't know if you were on when Collins was talking about the opportunity that this club and this league gives the players with regards to maybe putting a bit of a shop window, Champions Hockey League this season, quite a good standard of hockey, to give you the opportunity perhaps of playing in better leagues back across North America again, or perhaps even going on to higher leagues in Europe. Is that something that, gets the juices flowing for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be awesome to go play the teams in the league, and then also to travel over and play, different teams, better competition. And I think just, as a goalie and as a team, playing better teams and, going to prove that, we have a good group and that we're, going in to win games is nice.
Peyton, welcome to the Belfast Giants. Really stoked to have you. You sort of undersold your time at Penn State there. You did indeed go to D1 school, Penn State, but in your freshman year playing alongside Giants captain David Goodwin, you went on to capture a Big Ten championship and were named tournament MVP. Not only that, I think you left your college career with a host of Penn State records. You've got all-time goaltender in games started, all-time goaltender games played, minutes played, wins, and saves. It's fair to say that you really had that breakout experience in college. We obviously here in Belfast are privileged to host the Friendship Four every year, the only NCAA D1 tournament to happen outside of North America. What was the college experience like for you? Was that it's bound to be, when all of this maybe is said and done, you'll look back on those as just some incredible years with Penn State?
Yeah, I'm actually from like right outside of Philadelphia, so it's a 3-hour drive. So once Penn State got a Division I program when I was in high school, like that was my dream school. And then I played in the USHL for a year, and I had some schools reaching out to me, and making me offers, scholarships, and everything. And I kind of said to my mom, listen, I want to go to Penn State. And she's like, all right, well, then go back to the USHL and play and hopefully get something. And I think it was 5 or 6 games in, I got a call from Coach Godowski, the coach of Penn State, make me an offer, and I ended up committing to Penn State then. So it was my dream school for sure. Being a Pennsylvania kid, it was huge for me back here for my family and my hometown and everything. So it was definitely 4 years that I'll never forget.
it's pretty safe to say you grabbed that opportunity and ran with it. It's exciting to have you here with a college career like that. I can't let the interview move on without bringing this up, and Paddy's smiling because he probably knows what it is. You have a brother called Nolan. Nolan is currently, I think right now, getting ready to play the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. Would that be right?
Yeah, first pitch is in about 2 hours.
Big leaguer for the Cleveland Guardians, making his debut this year in right field. I just wanted to, obviously, we're delighted to have you. It's obviously a sporting family, and a friend of yours is a friend of ours. So I just wanted to wish your brother all the very best tonight at Fenway. And I hope things go well tonight at Fenway. They were obviously beaten last night, but it's an easy turn that around.
It's an easy win at Fenway these days, mate. It is.
That's impressive.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. No, that's very cool, and I'm going to be annoying you all season for merch and tickets. So can't wait to see you, pal.
Yeah, he plans to after the season come out for a couple weeks to take a visit. So he wants to come out to Belfast and visit. So you guys will be able to meet him if you're in town.
The pints are on me, but enough about him. More about you.
When you're in a family with a competitive sporting family like that, does it get competitive? Do you like obviously different sports, but is there a rivalry between you?
Yeah, there is. Growing up, I'm 2 years older than him. He played hockey and I played baseball. So we both played, hockey and baseball. We also played football as well, but we decided to stop that around middle school. But yeah, we both played hockey, both played baseball. So we actually had a batting cage in our backyard here at my parents' house. We had a cement basement where we just played hockey and, pretty much any sport. He was my best friend growing up. He's still my best friend today. And I definitely think that, he's said it before. I've said it before, like we're, without each other, I don't think that we'd be where we are. For me, it was like, I can't let my little brother beat me. So everything I did, I tried to, beat him or do better than him and whatever it was. And for him, it was like, I want to beat my big brother. So he, was always pushing himself to try to beat me. And I think that, growing up, just having that person like, that sleeps in the bedroom next to you is, every day wants to be better than you and beat you in something. And, the same for me. I think that's huge for us. And, even in the gym, like we go to, the same trainer and everything. And, trying to lift more weight, trying to see who's faster. So, people always ask, and I think that, he's a huge reason of where I am today. And I would say the same for me to him.
It's interesting because it's so, like, I don't want to say it's so common, but you see so many times when you've got like families who are like, you've got big hockey families. Look at the Vandermeers. We've had Jim Vandermeer here for many years at Belfast, and he comes from a hockey family of like, he's got like 35 brothers who all play hockey. It's such and it happens so often. And guys play football, and we had the thing pops into my head. We had the Mannings in Northern Ireland about a week ago playing in golf. Yeah, playing some golf in Royal County Down. It happens so often. But coming back to yourself and coming back to the hockey, regards to Belfast, regards to the Elite League, what do you know of the league? What have you learned of the league?
Honestly, I haven't learned too much. I'm looking forward to get out there and learning more. I know it's a good league, good players, obviously, and at Belfast we got a good team. So I'm just excited to get out there and learn more. I've heard about the Champions League and. Like I said, a couple of weeks ago, Europe was never really, I didn't know much about Europe. So the past couple of weeks, I've kind of been doing my research on Belfast and, the league and different teams. So I don't know much, but I'm excited to learn more.
Last one from me, Peyton. Our goalie that has just retired, Tyler Beskorowany, left a bit of advice last night when he was doing his go away interview for the new guy. So for yourself, he said, make sure you're a communicator both on the ice and off the ice. Know that coach's door is always open for you to put your own stamp on this position. You ready for that task?
Yeah, I am. I try to, I think as a player, I try to be someone who leads by example, always doing the right things on the ice, in the gym, in the locker room, from, as little as just cleaning up my trash to making my stall looks nice for the trainer. And then on the ice, I'm a vocal guy. I'm not someone who's going to, go out and, chirp the other team and run my mouth to the other team, but I'm out there to help my teammates, help my defensemen. I love playing the puck. I love communicating with them, where guys are as my defensemen come back, helping them with where the pressure is. So, I think that I'm a leader by example in regards to the locker room and on the ice, but I also do like to, voice I don't know if it's voice my opinion, but, use my voice to help out my teammates.
what my favorite type of player that comes to this league, and it has been this way. I think, for my money, since the Belfast Giants established the Friendship Four, I think the method of recruitment, and the type of player that come to our league has been different. We've been seeing a lot more guys out of U Sports, out of the NCAA, and it's my favorite kind of player. But the special sort of there's a top kind of level where it's an exciting, really energetic, ambitious player out of college who has excelled at the college level, which is you. But it's also the players who have a bit of an older head on their shoulders, and I think that's what the Belfast Giants are getting in you, Peyton. Really, really excited. I think you're the right man to step up, and you will, no doubt. As you arrive here, you're going to hear about Tyler Beskorowany. He was someone who was very, very loved here, but never ever think that that's a slight on you. I think if you'll realize very quickly once you hit our arena that if you give that fan base a little love, that they're going to be ready to back you the whole way through the season. And I'm sure we're doing a lot of speaking for others tonight, but that they're going to be ready to back you, and I'm sure they're excited to see you on ice wearing our jersey, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've heard a lot of great things. And like I said, I'm really excited to get to Belfast and get the season going.
I can't really add to that. I think in regards to the Belfast Giants fan base, we always back our goalies, and it's always great to see. And no doubt you'll be loved as much as the ones in the past. We have a couple of questions coming in, but the one that just caught my eye, which Joel Carson, I'm surely we know the answer to this. Penguins or Flyers?
I'm a Flyers fan.
Yeah,
I'm a Flyers
Come
fan.
on, buddy.
Sure. I'm from like 20 minutes north of Philadelphia, so I've been a Flyers fan my whole life.
So are you flying in the next week or two?
Yeah, I fly in, I think August 6th, I think it is. So I'll be there. I think it's like like probably 10 days before camp. So
and how's your summer been for training and stuff? You've been on the ice a lot?
Yeah, it's been good. I probably started on the ice about maybe a month ago. I started skating 2 times a week the first 2 weeks, and then the past 2 weeks I've been on the ice 3 or 4 times a week. We got a pretty good pro group back home that I skate with, and then I have a goalie coach that I work with back home, and then I've been in the gym as well. And then training got a little interrupted when my brother made his debut like 2 weeks ago, so I flew out to Kansas City for that. So I was in Kansas City for a couple days to see that, but that was. I'm usually pretty strict on my training and my eating, sleeping, and on the ice and stuff. But that was definitely something that I was able to let loose a little bit and go out and see him.
Your training stopped? Why did it stop? My brother's playing in the majors.
On the list of acceptable excuses, it's up there.
What do you want? Fantastic. Yeah. Well, listen, Peyton, we really appreciate you joining us. No doubt we'll chat again as the season progresses. Safe flight over to Belfast. Welcome to the Belfast Giants, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. I'm really excited.
See you soon, bud. Thank you.
Brilliant to have
my new favorite player there.
Yeah, the baseball connection just had Joel. Just right in. But Joel, I'll start with you. Bringing in a goalie, you said it yourself, of the quality of Peyton Jones is key.
Yeah, it's not just players who have excelled at that college level, although that is my favorite type of player. I just find them really exciting. I think there's a really raw hunger in those college players that maybe the older stereotype of an EIHL import didn't quite have. Maybe the guys coming over the other side who have had careers in the NHL or they've bounced between the A and the coast. I just love the hunger and the energy that they've got. These are guys who have ambitions and the sky's still the limit for them. They want to see how far they can push their hockey career, and it's an exciting first step for them. I know he's obviously been in the North American sort of minors and stuff, but he's my kind of player. He balances that line between an excellent college athlete and a mature sort of natural born leader. You can always tell, and it's the same as whenever you do Friendship 4 interviews, you can always tell the guys that are being groomed for the show. They speak differently, they carry themselves differently, they don't sound like young kids, they sound like grown men. I have a really good feeling about Peyton Jones. I'm really excited we have him.
Davey?
Like a year before lockdown, 2 years before lockdown, we'd never, had Tyler Beskorowany in our jersey, and we fell in love with him, and he's retired, and we get to fall in love with somebody else all over again. And we've been blessed at this club with some fantastic goaltenders, and this guy's just got to go out there and prove that he can live with those names. And hopefully a couple of years from now, when we're talking about Peyton Jones playing as DEL goalie of the year, AHL goalie, NHL goalie, let's hope that part of his story is the Belfast Giants.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Thank you very much to Tyler Bescaroni, to Scott Conway, to Kevin Rain, to Jackson Whistle, and of course to Peyton Jones. To have these guys, this team is coming together. Go on.
Jeff Baum's dad, Jeff Baum, has just texted me saying, "You mean that he's your second new favorite player?" Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. You know what I meant. You know, we obviously mean
always watching. Man. Is Rainer watching? Go ahead, mate. You've got problems. You've got problems.
Move on, Paddy. Move on.
But just before we go, because we haven't gone through, there have been other names that have been added to the list and stuff, and we will consider those in future podcasts when we come to the start of the season, which is only a few short weeks away. We've got the CHL, which we haven't even touched on the CHL in the 2 off-season podcasts that we've done, because there's so much other stuff to come across. But you know, Joel, the team's coming together really, really well.
It is, yeah. We've talked about just the high intensity it is, even just for a regular domestic season. But to add that European element into a season, it means that you've got to hit the ground running. And having guys like Collins back, who really just he's the thread that ties a lot of this club together. 3 new imports plus Rupper plus Goody, plus who am I forgetting? Who do you play with at Providence? Jeff Baum, sorry, Jeff Baum, not Jeff Baum. But I think that Adam Keefe and Steve Thornton and Robert and everybody at the club are aware of what's in front of us. They know what it takes to get through a season like this, and we are tooling up appropriately. I think Con said it earlier, we are going to have a team that are going to be there or thereabouts this year. There's nothing stopping us from kicking on and challenging to defend our cups.
David, your thoughts on the team and how it's come together?
Oh yeah, look, it's building nicely. There's a little bit of blend of last year's success, and of course, Con said earlier, success does not breed success in the IHL because of the turnover in players. You've got to go from day one and go and earn that success again. So, failure, if anything, last year in the playoffs is going to drive those guys to further success. You know, Kiefer, Thorch, etc. They are building a really, really nice roster here, and starting to get that time, the belly starting to go again here. Looking forward to getting us back into action again.
Here. We normally do any other business, but it's getting a bit late, lads. We did that at the start of the show. It's like I say, a big thanks to Smallsy for coming on at the start of the show, and please check out our social medias with regards to the drive there and the bone marrow and all that sort of stuff. We'll keep pushing that in the next while. Kevin Rain, welcome back. Tyler Bescaroni, nice to be back. And then of course we have the 3 names that are now added to the Belfast Giants roster in Conway, Whistle, and Jones. Big thanks to all those guys. Thanks to Sinead and Chantal in the background, who have been sort of sorting everything out for us. Really, really appreciate that. Gentlemen, we've got a few weeks off before we start this circus all over again. I hope you're enjoying your summer.
It's all about to come to a shuddering halt, boys. Enjoy your free time while it lasts.
Enjoy your free Tuesdays. Thanks to everybody who've been contacting us via Facebook, by YouTube, and join us on Twitter and the likes as well. Really enjoy doing these live ones, and hopefully we'll do a few more as the season goes on. And gentlemen, take care.
Good to see you, boys. Thank you.
And wherever you are, we hope you enjoy your summer, and we'll catch you here next time on A View from the Bridge.